Good morning, grade 11. Today we'll revise what we learned till now and we'll go to our class. So last class we have learned about protista. No? So what is protista? Single-celled eukaryotes. So under that we have learned about chrysophytes, isn't it? So what is chrysophytes? Chrysophytes are single-celled eukaryotics, that is fully primarily aquatic. We can see in only in marine and also in the fresh water. So that is a very good example is your algae. Okay, golden algae like diatom, everything is the example. Under diatom also we have learned some of the example. Okay, plunaria and triceratium, these are the example for chrysophytes. What is the special characteristic regarding chrysophytes? They are the, we can call it as jewels of the sea, or we can call it as diatomaceous earth will be formed, and this diatom act as the chief producers in the ocean. Why? Because it is an algae, so automatically or obviously it will be the producer of that particular area. So diatom we can call it as the chief producer, and the wall is made up of cell wall. No, cell wall will be present. So the because it is a plant, so the cell wall is made up of silica. Automatically it is not at all degraded. It will be settled in the ocean. So the area become diatomaceous earth, and this diatom can be used to make so many jewels and also for soundproof. All those stories we have learned. And second one, dinoflagellates. So here dinoflagellates is also algae, but you want to remember why it was kept separately, why they didn't add in the chrysophytes. And externally we know the pigment color is different, because chrysophytes we can able to see yellow golden color, but come to dinoflagellates we can see yellow also, and apart from that we can see other more dominant pigments like chlorophyll green pigment, brown means anthocyanin, and red means picocyanin and picoerythrin. Like that we can see different kinds of pigments over there in the dinoflagellate. So apart from that, you want to remember very important point, that is histone protein won't present in the dinoflagellate. Histone, histone protein. So what do you mean by histone protein, children? So we all know, we have learned protein in lower classes. The protein only will give a structure for our body. We have learned, no? Carbohydrate will give energy, and fat will give more energy, and protein act as a structural framework for our body. And normally when you come to the grade 12, you will learn one chapter, biotechnology. And in this grade 11 also one more chapter is there, cell. Okay, and you learn biomolecules. In that I will give detailed account of the structure of histone protein, but only to understand why dinoflagellate is not kept under chrysophytes, why it was kept separately means because dinoflagellates, they don't have histone proteins. Okay, normally, okay, when your lower level will think if a true nucleus is present, that is only eukaryotes. Apart from that, the nucleus will contain chromosomes will contain DNAs, isn't it? So the DNAs, we know it is a double helix model. So the DNA structure is like this only, and if it is a double helix, it should be coiled, or it should be tightened, or it should be packed by some kind of protein. So that protein only will call it as histone protein. So what is histone protein? DNAs are tightly packed with the chromosomes. Okay, that protein only we can call it as histone proteins. So histone proteins, it gives structural framework for DNA. Like that we can able to understand. Imagine this histone protein will be in chrysophytes, but it won't be in dinoflagellates. It won't be in the dinoflagellates. That's why it has kept under a separate heading under protista. Though both are eukaryotes, though both are single-celled, though both are algae, but chrysophytes contain histone proteins in its chromosome, but dinoflagellate, they don't have histone protein in it. That's why it was kept under a separate category. I think now we are clear about why they have kept separately, not in the one same category. Clear, children? Now a slime mold, we have learned euglenoids. Okay, we'll tell euglenoids, but euglenoids is the correct pronunciation. Euglenoids, where it will share both the character of plant and animal. Okay, and we have learned about slime mold. So what is the structure of slime mold, children? As I have sent the previous video, no? Actually this will contain the nature of fungi plus animal. So what is the best example for slime mold, children? There are so many. Slime mold is also a big group only. Under that we have so many examples, like Physarum. It was given in your NCERT book. Physarum, Physarum. Physarum is an example for slime mold. So it will possess both fungi and animal nature. So we have learned even slime mold also. So now we are thorough Chrysophytes, Dinoflagellates, slime mold and Euglenoids. Next we want to see in detail regarding Protozoa. So let's see. So this is the example for Chrysophytes, Triceratium, Pinularia and Dinoflagellate, no histone protein, though it is a single-celled eukaryotes and it started to release toxin. And Euglenoids, plant and animal, example Euglena. And we'll move on to the Protozoan. Slime mold I already gave more explanation for that. Next we'll move on to the Protozoans. And here you want to remember, if I tell Protozoan means, you want to remember it is a single-celled eukaryotes. It is a single-cell eukaryotes. And here all Protozoans are heterotrophs. What do you mean by heterotrophs? We have learned under protist Chrysophytes, that is photosynthetic. They can able to prepare their own food, Chrysophytes. Dinoflagellates also photosynthetic. They can able to prepare their own food. And Euglenoids, it will show both the characteristic of autotroph and heterotroph. Slime mold, it will show a saprophytic mode of nutrition. It used to suck food from dead and decaying organisms. And come to Protozoan, it is a heterotrophic, meaning they can't able to synthesize their own food. Either it is a predator or a parasite. Here you want to use the word only predator or parasite. You should not use the word saprophyte. Saprophytic condition, it is the condition for fungi alone. Okay, it used to get food from the dead and decaying matter, and it is not in the case of animal. Okay, animal, it might be predator or it will be a parasite. So we want to see all protozoans are either predators or parasites, and they are believed to be primitive relatives of animals. Why? Because under protist we have learned, we started with algae and algae plus plant. Okay, and algae plus animal, and slime mold, fungi plus animal. Come to Protozoan, all protozoans are like animal-like structures only, because they don't have any cell wall, only cell membrane will be there. So we can call it as animal-like. So this is the link between the other organisms. So we can call it as Protozoan as a single-celled eukaryotic animals only. Single-celled eukaryotic animals only. Here you want to remember one important word, children, zooplankton. Okay, zooplankton. For example, I have explained Chrysophytes and Dinoflagellates. No, both two comes under phytoplanktons. Phyto means P-H-Y-T-O. Phytoplanktons, you can write the same spelling, P-L-A-N-K-T-O-N-S. Phytoplanktons means, phyto means plant. So it is a algae. Algae only. Planktons means they are small algae. So that's why we can call it as planktons. So phytoplanktons means very small algae or unicellular algae. Okay, that is only we call it as phytoplanktons. Suppose in competitive exam, if they ask what are the examples for phytoplanktons, means we can tell algae like diatom, diatom group, and also gonal eggs and also other dinoflagellates items and all comes under phytoplanktons. Suppose if they ask the question like that, what is the zooplankton? Zoo means animal, zoo, zoology, zoological park. Zoo means animal, and planktons means animalcules. Animalcules means very small animal creatures, very small animal creatures, or very small animals, we'll call it as animalcules. Okay, animal, animal cules, cules, animalcules. So what is the synonym word for zooplankton, children? Zooplankton synonym word is animalcules. Like that, phytoplankton synonym word is plantcules. So plantcules, animalcules. Phytoplankton, zooplankton. So what is phyto and zooplankton? These are the single cellular plant and animal. So this is the food for fish. This is the food for a small fish. And we have learned in 10th standard food chain. So phytoplankton can be eaten by the fish. Small fish can be eaten by the big fish. Like that, phytoplankton means single cellular algae. Zooplankton means single cellular animal. So what is protozoan? Protozoan is a single cellular animal. Till now we are clear, children. Next we'll move on to the next slide. So here only 4 types, children. Under protozoan also we have 4 types. Okay. So we are going to learn protozoan. What is protozoan? Single celled eukaryotic animals. Okay. And here 4 category. First we'll start with the amoeboid protozoan. What do you mean by amoeboid protozoan? And here this is the structure of amoeba. We have learned in grade 7 too. And normally it won't have any constant shape. It used to change its shape, but we can able to guess this is the structure of amoeba. And here where it will be in fresh water, sea water, and even it will be in the moist soil also. And how they'll get its foods, it will get its foods by just it will capture their prey by putting out pseudopodia. So this is the pseudopodia. What do you mean by pseudo? Pseudo means false, podia means feet. So false feet only we'll call it as pseudopodia. As in amoeba, some of them such as endamoeba are also parasites. Here, children, amoeba, it will be in the water because it is an aquatic protist. It will be in the water. And how it will get its food? It will get its food by forming pseudopodia. And sometime if it is pseudopodia means automatically that will act as the, what is the other name for pseudopodia, children? It is the outgrowth of protoplasm. So we may call it as protoplasmic outgrowth. So what is the synonym word for pseudopodia? Protoplasmic outgrowth. Here the plasma membrane of the amoeba is made up of most probably lipid and protein, but we can see even silica also. We can able to see even in silica, that is if we can able to see amoeba in marine region, so the layer of the plasma membrane even made up of silica also. And what are the other example for this amoeba category means endamoeba histolytica. So endamoeba is a parasite. What it will do and what it will cause a disease to human being means, you write it, endamoeba histolytica will cause dysentery to human beings. Okay, endamoeba histolytica will cause dysentery to human beings. So why we are telling more specifically it will cause dysentery means, for example, this is a parasite. So automatically it will be in the it must be in the intestinal part only, because it is going to cause dysentery means it must be in the intestinal part. But this endamoeba histolytica will present in large intestine, not in the small intestine. If I tell story, you can able to understand concept. For that only I am telling stories. So this endamoeba histolytica is a amoeba, comes under protozoan, and that too what protozoan? Amoeboid protozoan, and it will be in the marine water, sea water and brackish water everywhere. Without knowing it was inverted, without knowing it was entered into the human body means it will reach the large intestine part. Where what it will do means this endamoeba, it used to have the red blood cells of our body. When it started to have red blood cells, because it is a parasite, it used to suck food material from our body only, but while sucking, it used to suck the red blood cells of our body. Once it started to suck the red blood cells of our body, automatically this Entamoeba histolytica, no, it started to release some enzyme. Okay, that enzyme name is histolysine. I'll write it. The enzyme name is histolysine. 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 Okay, histolysine. What do you mean by histo? Histo means tissue. Okay, we'll learn in forthcoming classes. Histology means study about tissues. If we can tell, no, cell biology means study about cell. So study about tissue means histology. So here histolysine means an enzyme which was produced by Entamoeba histolytica to break or to kill the tissues of the intestinal layers. So if the tissues were died, automatically from the tissue a mucus is coming, and also blood also used to come out from the intestine. So it will come out through the human excreta. So the human excreta will contain even blood also. So that is the symptoms of this disease. So what is the symptom of this disease means? We can write blood used to come out during their excretion. So how it is coming? Because this Entamoeba histolytica used to have red blood cells. While having, it started to release an enzyme called histolysine. Lysine means death. So it used to cause death of the tissues which is present in the intestinal regions. So automatically the small intestine will have more capillaries, no, because it is only going to give blood from the, it is only give all more nutrition towards the blood. So once it was broken means the blood used to come out from the part, and it will come to the large intestine, and through the anus, even the waste, along with the waste, even blood also used to come out. So that is the story behind Entamoeba histolytica. So from this story you can able to understand Entamoeba histolytica is a protozoan, amoeboid protozoan, and it is a parasite. Where it will be? It will be in the human intestine. What kind of symptoms we can able to feel? We'll feel the dysentery, and during dysentery even blood also used to come out. Is it clear, children? That is only amoeboid protozoan. Next we'll move on to the flagellated protozoan. And here cases will be interesting again for flagellated protozoan. The members of this group are either free living or parasite. So both also you can able to see. They have flagella. That's why we can call it as flagellated protozoan. But in amoeba there is no flagella, children. It is simply they'll form pseudopodia. From that, with the help of that, they used to do some actions, or they'll get food. But it is not in the case of flagellated protozoan, where in its body, this is the protozoan means they'll have a flagella. Flagella is it's a structure which is important for locomotion, for movement, and the parasitic forms cause disease such as sleeping sickness. Example, trypanosome. Here again the cases will be more interesting. I will tell the story and you can able to remember trypanosoma under flagellated protozoan. So what do you mean by flagellated protozoan? A protozoan will contain flagella, means we can call it as flagellated protozoan. And it will be free living, or it will be in any one of the organisms. So here example is trypanosoma. It will be in human intestine also. It will be in the human intestine also. And it used to cause, for human being, it used to cause sleeping sickness. So sleeping sickness is a disease, children. Sleeping sickness is a disease. And what do you mean by sleeping sickness means? A person will continue his sleeping for forever. He will continue his sleep forever. So that is only we'll call it as sleeping sickness. Forever means what will happen? The person will die. The person will die. So that is the example for flagellated protozoan. So trypanosome as a parasite, it used to cause even death for affected people. Okay. So that sleeping sickness, long-term sleeping, Okay, that's why we can call it a sleeping sickness. And to whom and all this disease will affect means mostly African people. Till now, many of the African people, they are affected by sleeping sickness. It is not most common for Asian countries like India, but it is very most common in areas like Africa. So Africa, we can see the sleeping sickness disease. Why it will cause death means this Trypanosoma protozoa, no, it will be in our small intestine, but it slowly started to target the nervous system. Once the nervous system was collapsed, automatically leads to the death of the person. And this Trypanosoma parasite, how it is spreading means it is spreading through a fly. Okay, so that fly, will call it as a vector. So what is fly, children? We all know, no? Fly. Normally fly comes, no, we used to close all the food items, because when fly it used to come, it used to carry so much of the infections in so much of parasites. So we want to escape from the flies also. And here the Trypanosoma disease, which was caused by a fly. Okay, fly. What is the fly name, children? Fly name is Tisa fly. Fly name is Tisa fly. It will be interesting, no? So Tisa fly is a kind of fly. It only used to carry the Trypanosoma. So the Trypanosoma flagellated protozoans will be in the salivary part of the Tisa fly, and it will come to the human body. It will be in the intestinal also, it will be in the blood also, it will target the nervous system also, automatically leads to death of the persons. So from the story you might have you can able to understand the concept of sleeping sickness, Trypanosoma. It will have flagella, so it can able to move in between our blood cells. So this is the region where we can see the Trypanosoma in our bloodstream. So this is the structure of our blood Trypanosoma. It is how beautiful it is running over between our blood RBCs, no? Because it used to multiply, or it is used to proliferate. Proliferate means multiplication. Multiplication of Trypanosoma was carried out only in our blood. Okay, and it used to target our nervous system, so person leads to death only. So where we can see these kind of diseases, mostly in African countries, not in the Asian countries. Is that clear, children? So that is the story behind Trypanosoma. I think now you are clear with amoeboid protozoan, flagellated protozoan, and what is the fly? Tisa fly, sleeping sickness. Now the concept is clear, children. Next we'll move on to the next disease. Next we'll move on to the Ciliated Protozoan. Here the cases will be more interesting. So if the word ciliated means this is an organism, okay, and the whole body is covered by a minute hair-like structure. A minute hair-like structure. So these minute hair-like structures only we can call it as cilia. So if the protozoan contain the cilia in its outer body, that we can call it as ciliated protozoans. So these are aquatic, and it will be actively moving organisms because of the presence of thousands of cilia. Because of that only it can able to move quickly. Now look at the picture. Okay, this is the example for ciliated protozoan, paramecium. Okay, so we normally tell lady shoe, lady slipper shape. So the structure of paramecium is lady slipper only. So outer layer of the parameciums we can able to see a finger-like projection. So this is only we call it as cilia. So this cilia will help for movement, quick movement. And what this ciliated protozoan will cause, even this ciliated protozoan will cause so many discomfort in our stomach only. So many discomfort in our stomach only. So this also will cause a disease only. So how we can able to escape from that? Only we want to boil and drink the water. If not, we'll get even the protozoan into our body. It will affect our body also. And here you want to remember, This ciliated protozoan will have some beautiful interesting structure in it. Okay, they have a cavity called gullet. Okay, this is the structure of gullet, children. Gullet, like a small opening or small cavity. And here from outside body, the water used to enter through this gullet, and while water is getting inside, even the water will carry so much of small food items, right? Everything will enter into the gullet part of the paramecium, and the digestion will be inside, and automatically through small pores which is present here. This is the small pore, anal pore. So small pore will be there. Through that waste material will come out. So here some vacuoles will be there, that is only for digestion, and micronucleus will be there in the paramecium. Even all those cell organelles like lysosomes will present, and oral grooves. Oral grooves means through that only the water is entering through the gullet. So these are the some structures and examples for ciliated protozoa. Is that clear, children? So example is a paramecium. And come to fourth category, sporozoans. So what do you mean by sporozoan? This is also a type of protozoan only, and here it will include so many infectious spores, incestuous spore like stages in their life cycle. For example, we always used to tell malaria fever. That malaria fever is caused by a organisms called Plasmodium vivax. Plasmodium vivax. Plasmodium was given, you write Plasmodium vivax. It is a species will cause malarial fever. So it is causing malarial fever means it will be inside our body for so many days. So it will act as a parasite. It used to get more food from our body. So this malaria parasite is also again caused by the female mosquito only. That is only will called as Anopheles mosquito. So that mosquito is helping to spread the malarial fever throughout our body. So this is the case behind sporozoans. So based on the structure, here we have learned four categories. Amoeboid means they have irregularly shaped, and we can see it will cause Enteromoeba histolica, dysentery. And second, we have learned about what category? We have learned about flagellated protozoan, trypanosoma, sleeping sickness, and it was caused by it was spread through Tisa fly, and it was caused by trypanosoma, flagellated protozoan. And third category, ciliated protozoan, example for that paramecium, sporozoan. So why we are called as sporozoans means the spore, the intermediate stage of its life cycle, only it used to cause disease to the human being. So that's why we can call it as sporozoans. Zoans means animals, sporozoans animals. So that's all about the four types of protozoan. And also one more thing we have learned in grade 10 regarding leishmania. So even the leishmania also will have, this is the structure we have learned under grade 10. This is the structure of leishmania. Even the leishmania comes under flagellated protozoan, and it will cause what fever? Kala-Azar fever, or we can tell tum-tum fever. Both are a synonym word only. And here the fly name is different, sand fly. Here the fly name is sand fly. And trypanosoma was caused by Tisa fly, but this leishmania was spread through sand fly. It used to cause Kala-Azar fever or tum-tum fever. Is that clear, children? Now I think you are clear about what is protozoan, what are the four types of protozoan. Amoeboid protozoan, example, amoeba, entamoeba, it will cause dysentery. So it will cause dysentery means it will be a parasitic only. And flagellated protozoan, trypanosoma, it is also a parasite. It used to cause sleeping sickness. It will be in African regions only. Amoeba will be common for Indian. Amoeboid dysentery, Enteromoeba histolica will be common in India. Flagellated protozoan will be most commonly we can see in African regions only. And come to ciliated protozoan. The ciliated protozoans will be in India also, East Asia also, and Africa, America, everywhere we can see. And sporozoan, most probably we can see only in African, most probably, and we can see in India too, but it was originated and it was most affected people we can able to see in African region only. That is the malarial fever. I think now you are clear about the protozoa one. So next class, for that is next video, I'll give more explanation regarding kingdom fungi. Thank you.